Welcome to The Withering Effect, episode 166. I'm Carl, and this is a very special episode of the podcast where we take a look back at some of the best on moments from our shows in 2022. First, we joined Duds and Jimbo on episode 131 in February, where they discuss how to improve the weather system in Minecraft. Remember to check out the full episode for the rest of the weather changes.
We know Minecraft tries to do seasons with biomes. So when you get something like snow, you're only going to get it in a certain biome.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means that the grass color changes. So like taiga grass is a little bit more dull than plain grass, and mushroom grass is way more tropical than plains grass. So one of the first things I thought would be, how cool would it be to be able to silk touch the different color grasses and be able to move it and place it down?
Make it like a different biome.
Right, yeah.
And move it.
You could manufacture your own kind of like, so if you dug up a snow block or a snowy grass block, you could now move it and put it down. So you can manufacture small areas to be different kinds. Maybe doing enough snow blocks in a certain area means it snows there when it rains.
Yeah.
So maybe you only want it to snow on a house. So you dig out underneath the house and place these snow blocks underneath it.
Oh, okay.
Or snow grass blocks, not just snow blocks, snow grass blocks. And that causes it to only snow on the house. So like you're doing a Christmas build, but you don't want to build in the snowy area. You want to build in a plains or something like that. But now you can manufacture snow falling by moving these blocks over.
Yeah. Yeah, you can always make a plains look wintry, but the weather, you're not going to get that weather.
Yeah. I thought about that in my taiga forest. I really like my taiga forest, but every once in a while it'd be cool if it snowed there.
Do have snowy taigas.
There is that, but I don't like when it snows there all the time.
Yeah, dealing with the rain all the time, especially, when you try to make content.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
We're supposed to have a way to turn that off with sleeping. And a lot of people are saying, well, it doesn't rain till it gets close to nighttime anyways. I'm not seeing that. Like, a lot of the times when it's raining on me, it's the beginning of the day.
Yep.
So I've lost an entire 20 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it is, to rain in recording time.
Yeah, I'd rather have a thunderstorm so I could sleep through it.
Yeah, right. There also comes with the fact that running around in the rain in Minecraft makes me motion sick for some reason.
Does it?
Like I just started realizing this. I was trying to get indoors when it started raining, and I was a good ways away from my house. And I was just like, why am I feeling sick to my stomach? And I realized it was the rain. The second I got inside, I was good. And Minecraft's the only game I get motion sick on doing certain things. Most of the time, it's working in just a 2-block tall tunnel. That'll do it to me. But yeah, the rain. I guess because it never rained that much before, I didn't notice it. But now that it's raining like all the time, it's making me motion sick.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that pretty much rain is the only weather we have.
Yes.
That's why we kind of brought this up. All we have is rain. That or thunderstorms. That's it. There's no in between.
You can never get a mist. You don't get fog.
Yeah. What if we do have like an in between? Maybe like an overcast.
Yeah.
That could help you avoid the rain, but also give a chance for mobs to spawn in the day. With that overcast, it would take the light level down a little bit.
Well, the fact that they have to spawn in light level 0 now, kind of hurts that. But with the overcast, we get overcasts in deserts and savannas.
Yes. Yep. What if you just moved it through the world? That would be
right. Yes.
It would just be a weather, not so much of a feature in that biome.
Yeah. You could randomize locations. You would probably still need to do it by biome, but not specifically to biomes. So this taiga biome is getting ready to have a weather event. That weather event is now randomized, so it's getting a misting. But the biome next to it, it's randomized is a downpour.
Yeah.
And then it changes and stuff. No longer will it rain everywhere except for savanna and desert. Now it might actually rain in the desert for once.
Right. Now, you brought up misting. When you say misting, I'm thinking fog. I have fog down here as some kind of an improvement because fog is like a weather.
Yeah.
But it's more like an atmospheric type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes it, I don't know, it makes it thicker to see through.
Yeah.
What if in the mornings along like riverbeds, there's like a thick fog when you're running through? I think that would be cool to see. And it doesn't have to be like so much realistic. Like fog does generate more around rivers and stuff. It becomes more foggy because the water's being. I don't know how fog works. Apparently, I'm trying to explain it, but I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
but there's water in the air. It's condensation.
I love the idea of fog because to me, fog in Minecraft can be really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But localizing it to features, I think, would make it hard.
Yeah.
So I already know randomizing weather events based on biomes would honestly be complicated. So to even break it down further into localizing it to a feature like a river.
Yeah.
Well, there are river biomes. They literally say river biomes on there.
Yeah.
So you could do that using my idea.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, naturally that's where you'd find it, but this is Minecraft.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have fog everywhere at certain times of the day. It could be a weather thing. Maybe in the desert it's more like a sandstorm. That's sandy and it's a fog. And it doesn't hurt you or anything. It just makes the visibility worse while you're running along. I thought that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking early morning near bodies of water could randomize into a fog.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you have better chances around bodies of water.
Yeah. So like if you have a 2% chance of fog early morning, because that's when you see fog. You don't see fog at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least you rarely see it.
Right.
So 2% chance of fog in the morning. But if you're near a body of water like an ocean, it increases from 2 to 10.
Mm-hmm. And once the sun gets so high, it kind of burns off the fog.
Yeah. By the time the sun's midday, it's gone.
Yeah. Or even sooner.
Yeah, even sooner. Then you would start having people hunt for the perfect screenshot.
Yeah. Or maybe if you're like after someone, like we have this game Assassin on our server, maybe in the fog might be a good time to go after somebody. But you could turn the fog on and off though. Like there is fog in the game naturally. It's more of like a rendering thing, a render distance.
Mm-hmm.
But you can always turn that off, which could obsolete the whole fog idea. I do have on here atmospheres.
Okay.
Now the way I wanted to explain this is, let's say you're in the desert, right? Desert's really hot. Maybe, the atmosphere doesn't look the same as if you're in a plains biome. Maybe the sun's really bright in the desert. Maybe if you look far enough away, you could see like the heat in the air, like that wavy heat in the air. You have that kind of atmosphere in the desert. And, other biomes would have their own type of atmosphere. Kind of like the Nether. Now, I've been asking for this for a while now.
Yeah.
I love what they did with the Nether and the atmospheres. Now, it's not so much of a weather type of thing, but I feel like it lets you know if it's hot, if it's cold, just from the atmosphere.
Yeah, we thought we were going to get that with the cave update.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Yeah, they did mess around with the atmosphere in the caves a little, just by the looks, really, the generation. But the atmosphere we're talking about, I don't think they really touched it in the overworld.
Mm-mm.
In April, on episode 140, Duds and Jimbo are joined by Aerington and Atomic Dave to discuss how they are using the new additions in the Caves and Cliffs update, including mud, moss, and using the light block in survival.
When they brought out the soul sand, the one that doesn't make bubble elevators, that underwater.
So soil.
Is that the soil? Whichever one it is that doesn't make the bubble elevators, made such a great mud texture, and I got so excited that I could finally put mud under my streams and rivers that I was using rather than having gravel or dirt.
I mean, it still kind of does, though, because it's got more of that brown, which is probably my one complaint with mud is I wish it was a tad bit more brown myself.
Yeah, it is pretty gray, like a darkish gray.
I think it's a bit purple.
Yeah, it's a gray, purpley, bluish.
Everything ends up a little purple.
It's giving us another gradient element under the water.
Yeah.
Now the dried mud blocks, though, gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm really digging that brick.
Just the right shade of brown,
Mm-hmm.
also known as tan.
Off-white. But yeah, more mud's good. I like that change.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, that is another one of those blocks that are very renewable. So is there a benefit to having it go down deeper for, the casual player?
I think when you run into some weird terrain generation, it'll still look better that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That is true.
The bottom of the mangrove riverbeds kind of area.
And speaking of mangrove, we have more tall mangrove trees than short ones,
Mm-hmm.
which is completely transforming that. My next starter base will be in a mangrove swamp.
I am not touching swamp again next season.
Neither am I. That's not.
Swamp water has killed it. It was great while it was, and now I'm over it.
It's been fun, but yeah, there are so many elements that you just don't consider.
It's one of the only places I've not built is a swamp.
Yeah, it did seem like one of the more rare areas. It was fun to start Channel 64 in such a kind of unused biome, and not unused. I'm sure there are people using it all over the place, but you don't see it as common as a big starter area on SMP.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably because of slimes and other annoying factors, but fun challenge.
The swamp always had like a nice feel to it, just atmosphere wise. I do like the mangrove swamps, the atmosphere is a lot better. I can't wait till they bring in the fireflies so you can really get the full feel of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I love the height that they added to the trees. I love that you can walk in between the roots, and the roots feel like roots, but also like Minecraft. You can kind of see through them. It makes sense, but they're not just so overpowering.
One thing that could be annoying, but I kind of like it, is how they have the moss carpets on there. Like, I know these, at least my inventory, gets polluted with all this moss stuff when I'm dealing with this.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like a natural thing, to have the moss carpets generate on these mangrove trees. But then again, a lot of the trees that generate there doesn't have that same color, because the moss has that vibrant green, but the trees doesn't. So I'm still got a little bit of mixed feelings about the carpets generating on there.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it's a little bright.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still personally in the camp of, I really wish moss was different per biome. I think had the moss looked like dead grass in the desert, then we could have hid lighting in the desert better. I think, to your point, if the moss looked a little darker in the swamp, in the mangrove forest, it would blend a little better.
Right.
I mean, I know we're past the development of the moss as it is, but I would love to see the moss carpet stack in the same way that snow layers do.
Yeah.
That would solve a lot of pathing issues, when you're terraforming and stuff. But that's, again, not really update relevant.
Well, you guys are talking about hiding lighting and stuff, and that's something Ripple Effect hasn't had to worry about for close to a year now, because we brought the light block over from creative mode and craft and stuff. So you're like, well, hide lighting here. It's like, I just put the invisible light block down.
Right.
Get yourself a winter.
Well, and in general, just lighting since 1.18 has been fantastic.
Yes.
I still find myself overlighting caves every time I'm caving like crazy.
Same.
Oh, I try to be so strategic when I light things. It's something in my, I try to be sparing with my torches all the time.
Oh no, I'm a torch spam everywhere kind of person. I am still, same deal. I am lighting like it's 2019.
I do wish I was a little better about lighting, because I'm not thrilled about how I can't find coal lower in the world.
Yeah.
Even if it was sporadic and rare, that and the deep slate coal block was gorgeous. I used it all over my base this season, and to know that I won't be able to find that next season really, really stinks. Yeah, I would love if coal was even just rare at lower levels, because there's a point where I understand the need to plan to go caving, but I always liked that worst case scenario. If you were caving, you could maybe find a mine shaft and there's wood. You could find an aquifer and then there's fishing. You could find spiders and make wool out of the string. Like, there were those options, but those are limited now by the fact that you're down there and there's less coal to find. I guess you could still do charcoal, but
I've moved to charcoal.
no one uses charcoal.
No, I've moved to charcoal. That's what my single
Really?
player has done to me, because I am down at that deep slate level and not going to the surface. So I have adapted to charcoal and I am okay with it. You just need to plan ahead.
Maybe that's the natural progression, is charcoal.
So if you have a tree farm, like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, the way Jimbo has his whole underground setup this season is, like, he has a moss farm that's turning everything into bone meal that's feeding a tree farm. So he could basically have free renewable charcoal whenever he wants.
Yes, but I don't. Use coal. I have no other use for coal, so I just make torches. But I've been, I put torches down for so long, and then they come up and get replaced.
Yeah.
Then I got my torches again to spam somewhere else.
Well, and you don't even necessarily need coal as much for furnaces anymore either,
Right.
do you? Because I think, Duds, were you the one that did the lava farm right next to your furnaces?
They weren't right next to it, but it was, like, in the iron storage area.
Right? That's genius. I had never thought of that.
And it worked out really. The problem was having to constantly switch out the buckets. I have gone to blaze rods again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing with lava. Whilst it's fantastic as a fuel, it's a manual process, so you need to do
Yeah.
so much on your own.
Like, if you know you're mass smelting something, then having a couple dozen lava buckets is great. But if you're just, like, smelting one or two items, like, I got 2 stacks of sand I want to turn into glass, the lava bucket's a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm one of those that I always want my furnaces to have fuel waiting,
Right.
so I don't have to think about adding fuel.
So maybe it's a more starter solution.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm on the bamboo train for furnaces, personally.
Yeah, if you get enough of it.
You'd be surprised how far it stretches.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get a lot of bamboo when farming.
So then the natural progression is lava furnace, coal, and then bamboo. Unless you get like Withering or Blaze Farm.
Next, we move to June and episode 148, where they discuss allays in Minecraft 1.19, the Wild Update, and how Jimbo's first allay, Todd, made some very bad decisions in a cave.
Casey and I wanted to go do some mining, so we went off towards the jungle to get some wood. And as we enter the jungle, we see a pillager outpost.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, there are 2 allays in this pillager outpost. We got extremely lucky. We didn't know it was right there. We knew there were some nearby, but right there they were. And we're like, okay, do we need to get geared up before running into this pillager outpost? Because it can be dangerous if you're not prepared. And we looked at each other. We're like, no, we're not going to get geared up. We're getting those allays right away. So we ran in there, dodged a couple bullets, but there weren't as many pillagers spawned at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good opportunity, and we got an allay. The first mob that I was able to befriend is an allay, and I was real excited. Me and Casey ran out of there. I gave him a piece of copper, and he followed me everywhere, which sounds great, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a great thing. You got this little buddy with you. I actually named him Todd. So me and Todd went mining because I guess I could have blocked him in somewhere, but I didn't think about it at the time. So me and Todd are, we're wandering around. He's doing well. He's dodging arrows from skeletons and whatnot until I get into this cave, and there's lava everywhere. And Todd doesn't know any better, apparently. Todd swims right into a lava column and dies
Oh, no.
really fast. Like, it's not like he took damage, flew away, and then died. He went in the lava a few seconds later, died because he couldn't get out. He's kind of stuck in the slow motion of the lava.
Yeah, he's trying to swim in the lava.
Yeah. And I kind of seen it coming, and I was yelling at Todd. It's like, Todd, don't go near that. I was trying to tell him, but he didn't listen to me, and he went right into the lava.
Todd, you idiot.
Yeah, and I've only had him for like 10 minutes, and then he died, and I know these guys don't come around too often, they're kind of rare, and I was so heartbroken. But then again, like, the allay they're kind of annoying to have with you at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could be your little buddy. They're adorable looking. The way they fly around, and I was mining copper and then just running to the next thing, and he was picking it up for me and throwing it at me. Later on, I was like, "This is so cool." I got this little guy here, and he's helping me pick up all of these blocks. I wanted to give him another thing to help me mine or to help me gather because I didn't want copper at the time. I was looking for iron. So I can grab iron and run off, and he would grab the iron for me if I missed any. Or if it dropped down to where I couldn't get it, he could get it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I couldn't give him anything else. I couldn't give him anything but the copper. He had the copper. I even tried to right-click with it, near him with the iron, and I couldn't give him that. So I was upset about that. I was upset about his pathfinding into the lava. What in the world was he thinking?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be ideal. Like, it's probably going to be, if you're going to have him as a little buddy, give him a totem because
they're going to die.
Yeah, as rare as they are, and their health is not the best, even though it's not bad, and they regen. But yeah, as soon as they go in lava, man, they're done from there.
One hidden thing, and other people on the server have found the LAs, and from what I've seen, their biggest gripe is they don't follow very well, is that they're super slow.
Mine followed pretty well.
That's what I thought. I thought the pathfinding was okay, other than the flying into the lava thing.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to work with the LAs closely to see.
Yeah, funny thing is, Casey had one also, and when mine died, I noticed his wasn't around. He, lost his, or his died too. I don't know if it ever came back. As far as I know, his LA's gone too.
Wow.
Very well could have went in lava in that case, because, the cave we were at was kind of open.
It kind of seems like this is what these things were designed for.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't seem like their functionality's good enough. I'll have to watch more people. I haven't really watched any content creators who have got the LAs, except for maybe DiiKoj. And DiiKoj just went and got the LAs. He hasn't really done anything with them yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that.
In June, on episode 150, Duds and Jimbo are joined by Stifflered to discuss their ideas for what 120 could be. Remember, this episode was recorded before Minecraft Live. However, first we need to find out how this guest episode came to be in the first place.
Let me just explain how I got here today.
Well, and how we got our guest.
Yeah, right. Yesterday you mentioned, or you messaged me because I was supposed to be working late today. And I mentioned I should be home Sunday night. And you messaged me yesterday just to clarify if we're going to need a guest. And I told you, yeah, I should be done or available Sunday night. So around lunchtime today, my boss tells me that something critical broke down at the plant, that we're probably going to be working until 3 a.m. the next day. Right? And I'm like, oh no. First thing I thought of was the show. I'm supposed to record. Duds messaged me to make sure, and I totally told him I'd be available, and here this comes up. So I messaged you back saying, yeah, I'm going to be working really late. And so we found a guest. Carl did his part, found us a guest. And then we get everything done at the other place and get to leave around, I think it was around 5:30 or so. And I was able to make the original time. And I'm like, yeah, I should be available by 7 again. And you're like, it's just back and forth. It was just back and forth all day, but I was able to make it. And yeah, I have been working a lot.
To put that in perspective, Jimbo told us he probably could make it 5 days ago. As of 2 days ago, we had our guest lined up.
Oh.
We did not take your word for it. And especially when Carl mentioned Stifflered coming back on, I got super excited. So I was like, even if Jimbo can make it, we're not canceling this guest. This is too much fun.
No. Yeah, if we have a guest, definitely.
Well, let me tell you real quick how Carl did this, okay? How Carl approached me, because this is...
Oh, yes.
Yes, your side of it.
Yeah, this is important. So he messaged me, right? And he was like, hey, Stiff, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. All that, the nice pleasantries and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Carl says, hey, we've got episode number 150 coming up. It's a big episode. And I was like, wow, this is super exciting. They're going to ask me to join and be a guest on the episode. And he's like pumping it up, talking about how exciting it is and everything. And then he says, like, do you think you could help me get in touch with this person to have them on as a guest? And then he gives me a whole list of other people. And I'm just like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know that person, And finally he's like, all right, well, like, can you join? I was like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm just kidding. He didn't really do that.
Oh, that'd been so funny.
Yeah.
Kinda.
No, he was nice. I'm excited to be here, and I'm glad that it all worked out because I like talking with you, Jimbo. I'm glad you could make it.
Yeah, I would have hated to miss something like this,
Especially because Jimbo didn't know who the guest was.
Yeah, I didn't know till an hour or so ago.
Yep. Got to hold the cards close to the chest just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You might as well just line a guest up every week, just in case. Just line them up.
Hopefully not. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not easy. Definitely not easy.
No, I come with demands. I do not make it easy.
Oh,
I think we have to say void frogs 3 times in this episode.
there's one.
That one doesn't count.
What? Oh.
Oh, man. All right. So if it's not going to be a combat inventory update, quick guesses. I know a lot of people keep throwing out the end update. I'm 100% against an end update.
100%?
100% against an end. I think there's bigger things that need to be fixed in the game than the end. As of just recently playing around in the end, I still like the end.
I feel like there's more that could be added to the end.
There's always can be more added to everything. It's just, is it what the game needs?
Yeah, but the end, definitely. I wouldn't mind an end update. I think I mentioned that before. But I still think that they're going to... This could even be a Caves and Cliffs Part 4 coming at us because I feel like we're going to see what's in that dimension, that portal, like where the warden's at, the frame that is not a portal but is a portal. I think it's a portal, and we're going to see what's in there, either the next update or the one after, my opinion.
I'm about 35.8% against an end update, give or take.
It's more specific, but not 100.
Yeah, not 100. I don't want an end update because I don't like Mojang getting into the habit of updating existing things.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like, maybe kind of along with what you're saying, Jimbo, I'd like to just see more things added in that are new.
Mm-hmm.
Like this new dimension portal from the ancient cities. I'd be down with that.
Mm-hmm. It's like a blank slate. What's it going to be? What's in there? What kind of mobs? What kind of terrain generation? They could start from scratch, and I think that would be pretty exciting.
They did also hire King B-Dogs.
That's what I said!
Yeah. He made Ether, right?
Yeah.
And if we go back, so like Ulraf, he said that I think he said the LA or the Warden, one of these was the first mob that he started work on back when he first joined the company. And he joined the company around 2 years ago. And he started working on that. And now it's released. So that's been like 2 years on one thing that he's been working on. King B-Dogs joined the company at about the same time. So if they hired him and it had anything to do with the Ether and they're bringing him on, we would be at a point now where we might see a King B-Dogs inspired something released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I entertained that idea. I'm like, what if King B-Dogs was brought on for a new dimension? Because he did so well with the Ether. And yeah, that was one of my takes was, possibly. Not saying, I mean, he's talented either way, not just for this Ether, but.
I'm saying I believe King B-Dogs was the architect of the Deep Dark and ancient cities.
Yeah, maybe his part's already done.
Maybe. Or this could be the...
more to come.
Yeah, the introduction to the big part, but
Yeah.
Yeah, inventory, stairs, slabs, please.
That's another big one people were asking for. Concrete stairs and slabs.
Oh, I'd be down for that.
I mean, it is practical. I mean, you see concrete stairs everywhere.
Yeah, we always ask whenever we have a dev on, and they always give us the same answer that it stumps creativity. And I always let them have that. Like, that's a stupid, stupid answer.
Take this, developer.
I'm clipping that. I'm going to send it to all of them.
I'm sure they've already heard it.
Yeah, they said they get tired of hearing it, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Like, oh, that's all we hear.
It kind of feels like it's being held back just out of spite.
Maybe.
I would hope that that's not it. But yeah, they need to be, like Jimbo says, concrete stairs and slabs are real things in real life. Very common real things in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, though, we don't see like pink or magenta concrete stairs in real life. So
Right, that's true.
This is true.
But they have paint.
I would say probably in Latin America you could find some.
Oh, New Mexico for sure.
There we go. See?
Pink everywhere.
Next, in October, they are joined by Casey Plays to talk through ways to improve the villager trading system and adding more custom textures to the game.
First question comes from Zenith, and they say, in the 2 video series that Slice Lime released, where him and King B-Dogs visited Hermitcraft, they got into a discussion on how the devs don't like villager trading currently because it doesn't feel fun gameplay-wise, continuously resetting a block for a mob trapped inside a 1x2 space. I'm curious what thoughts you could come up with to make villager trading more entertaining. They designed it that way, though.
Yeah. That's a good question, though.
It's a fairly recent change,
Yeah.
Right.
considering how long villagers have been in.
Yeah, I don't see villager trading as something that was designed to be fun. It was just designed to be menial task-wise. And honestly, I don't know how you would fix it. I much prefer the continuous resetting a block compared to the continuously breeding villagers until you get the one you want.
Yes, I have actually gone back and played some old versions of Minecraft where that is how you get what you want, and it's not a fun.
Yeah.
That's worse than what it is now.
Yeah, it's not even that, like, it doesn't add anything to the gameplay. So going back to that style of creating mob trades would be completely wrong.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that 2 developers, big developers, mentioned that how they don't like it. Yet there had to been a developer that pushed it through. Kind of curious what they would do to fix something like this, if they want to.
I don't know how you would change it to make it more fun. I mean, it's an easy system they've got now. It's, a bit user-friendly.
Yeah, I mean, the way you would change it would be the way you would trade or change your trading halls and setups and stuff. It's only not fun doing it this way because that's the way you've set it up that way. I don't generally let a zombie eat my villagers and then revive them to get lower trades. I've done it before. I think I did it Ripple Effect Season 3. But it's so easy to get emeralds now. It's like, yeah, whatever. So that leads me to get more villagers that give me more emeralds doing different professions, which to me is more fun because then I get to theme more buildings around this villager's profession. If you're just building a 1x2 hall, and you're expecting like magic to come out of there, it's like, well, no. But it's you play the way you want to make the game fun. I think it's more fun when we create buildings for villager professions separately. You don't have a normal trading hall in general.
What if, just for example, like you give their profession, yeah, and instead of like trading with them all the time, I'm thinking of the farmer trader, how you can farm them for wheat or bread, however you want to do it. Also carrots, anything farmable, really. The other villagers' professions, how possibly they can throw items at each other at certain times, and maybe you can collect them that way.
Yeah, a bit like when you get
like they're trading each other.
Yeah, a bit like Hero of the Village sort of thing.
Yeah.
You could just make it exclusively Hero of the Village to get anything from a villager.
Yeah.
It's a bit similar to bartering then, isn't it?
Right.
The only thing I could think of that might be an advancement is we don't have a woodcutter, but we have a stonecutter. So if you go to a lumberjack villager, they would trade you 1-to-1 crafting recipes like a stonecutter does. Bit of annoying compared to the stonecutter and how we all want woodcutters.
Yeah.
Woodcutters definitely came first in the world here.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to cut wood.
Yeah. I think it's more up to the player to make it fun. The mechanic is a simple mechanic. It's easy for new players to learn. And you really can go, like, again, maybe you're into farms and machines and stuff. You can make a lot of cool machines that deal with villager trading. Maybe you're not into machines and stuff. You're into just building, and you can build a lot of themes based on the villager's profession. They don't all have to be in a 1x2 space.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, the old way, how you have to breed them and they would have a set profession, set trade options.
So bad.
Yeah, rough.
Yeah, it was so rough I had to make a sacrifice chamber because of how many I went through. I had to sacrifice them.
I remember that.
Pretty comical. But yeah, I mean, instead of doing all that, you can actually choose. So I do prefer this way better than the last.
Should we move on to the next topic?
We have a question from High Hopes. He asked, in the latest episode, you mentioned a custom texture for the treasure chest, which wouldn't be craftable. So my question is, what other items/blocks, could a similar approach be taken with? I really like this idea and think armor/weapon/tools would be an obvious one, even if there's no stat boost to it.
Yeah, armor, weapons, tools, all easily can be manipulated.
Customized.
I have an odd one, but I'm going to save mine. Casey, do you have a block that you would like to be non-craftable but have a custom design?
Like we did last episode, we talked about finding actual treasure chests instead of a chest when you dig them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's non-craftable. That's where you get them.
Right, okay.
Just like a different texture to a block we use.
I forgot. Casey probably hasn't heard the last episode.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to the last episode yet. I'm a bad patron. I'm thinking it's a bit similar, really, isn't it, to sponges? Because they're non-craftable and you can only find them in one place.
Correct.
Right.
And a bit like gilded blackstone. That's can only be found in bastions.
Yeah, you can't craft those.
No, I would say probably something. Just you need other things for structures that are out and about. So nether fortresses could have their own chests that you can only find in nether fortresses.
Okay.
For example, I don't know, because chests are the easy one to go to because there's only one texture for chests, which is a bit boring.
And they're in different areas.
Yeah, something themed to the area would be nice.
Yeah, you can always theme chests because they're in different looting structures. Even like the ancient ruins, you could throw a third type of chest.
Yeah.
It is a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question, and it needs some more food for thought, really.
Jimbo, do you have a block?
No.
Simple enough.
I'm thinking like end. That's where my mind keeps going, is to the end.
Everyone wants the end.
Yeah, and there's one thing you can find at the end that you can't get anywhere else, and that's an ender chest. Maybe there's it's called an ender chest in the end, so I don't know how you can customize it, call it something different. And again, we're on chests again. It's still nothing too out of the ordinary. There's shulkers, but those aren't really blocks, they're mobs. Yeah, this is it's a good question. It's definitely tough. There's the item frames that the wings go in. Maybe those can be customized. I was thinking the wings itself, but that's where you get them. So
yeah,
they're not craftable. I want to hear yours though, Duds. Got to hear yours because I never got to look at this question till just now.
Spill the beans. Come on.
Put it out there. We're recording on Saturday night instead of Sunday night. I normally do the show notes on Saturday night, Sunday morning, so Jimbo generally does get a chance to look over them when he's popping in his. But I had to work on the air conditioning unit all day, so I did the show notes like 30 minutes before we were recording.
Me too.
Both Jimbo and Casey are flying blind for the most part, but my block that I would like custom textures that I cannot craft anywhere else would be an anvil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anvils get used for a lot of decoration, and I would like to see a couple variations of anvils we couldn't craft. You could have them in villages, you could have them in nether fortresses.
Yeah, you'd have to dot them around a little more because I can only think of what mansions you can find them, and they're halfway broken.
You can find them in villages.
Anvils?
Yeah, I think the blacksmith has an anvil.
Oh, for a workstation, right?
I don't know if anvils are a workstation,
No, it's a smithing.
Right, yeah, I don't think you can then.
but I'm 99% sure you can find a anvil at a... We're Googling it right now, guys.
Well, we're Googling this. We gotta Google this, because I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I don't think you can.
Only time I remember seeing them is in the, what is it?
Woodland Mansion.
The woodland mansions, yeah. And they're rare in there, so yeah, you'd have to find different areas for these anvils. Even if they are in villages, and I haven't seen them in villages, makes them even more rare.
They're saying the only place you can find them are Woodland Mansion, and they're damaged, but I swore I've seen an anvil sitting next to the little lava pit.
See, I see grindstones.
Mm.
That's where grindstones are.
Well, maybe it's grindstones now, and it used to be anvils before they did the Village and Pillage update.
Maybe.
And I'm just remembering far away back then.
In ancient time.
Either way, a village would be a great place for these custom models.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I agree.
It'd be nice to have more anvils dotted around the world, really, because a woodland mansion is probably not somewhere that a lot of people go.
Nope.
So to have an anvil point you in the direction of combining items and enchantments and stuff would be nice.
And finally, we take a look at what happened during an outtake at the start of episode 160, our Minecraft Live reaction show, recorded live on the Built by Bit outdoor stage at KubeCon 2022.
Welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 160. Today's date is October 15th, 2022, and I am Duds.
And I am Jimbo Slice 23.
I'm CarlRyds.
And I'm DiiKoj.
Welcome, everyone, to CubedCon. Well, I've already messed up Carl's script, guys. Here we go. We're 10 seconds in. We are recording this Minecraft Live 2022 recap from the outdoor stage at CubedCon. If you're watching the video version, you can see some nice shots of the stage area. I was going to say arena. Arena worked better there, Carl.
Close. It's about it's like an arena.
Yeah.
Or marina.
Yeah, we are in the water.
Sorry.
Carl, I am looking at our live stream and it's just a black screen.
Yeah, no.
Oh, this is going
Did you
great,
take the
guys.
cap off the camera?
Oh, technical difficulties or something. Ah, there we go. There's stuff happening.
I got it.
Guys, Carl's stream deck is filled with stuff just for this episode.
Okay, so we're going to start that again.
There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on.
Okay, so we're going to start that all again. Let's see if I can actually press the show button this time. Oh dear. That's going to do us for today. If you like this show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow us so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. They also now have a rating system, so make sure to rate us there as well. Doing any of these helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you too can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for getting withered with me. You should probably go drink some milk now. Bye!